talking today about the Green Cleaning Award for Schools and University with American Schools and University, the Green Cleaning Network and Healthy Schools campaign. Thank you so much for joining us for the next full hour. I'd also, before we get started, I just want to say a quick thank you to Chase Products, who is our today's sponsors, as well as a sponsor of the Quick and Easy Guide for Green Cleaning in Schools for the past number of years. We appreciate their support. Check them out. All right, today's webinar is the third in a series of 5 on green cleaning. Today's is on the Green Cleaning Award. If you're interested in learning more about new technology in green cleaning or making the financial case for green cleaning, come back and join us on August 15th and August 29th. For more detailed information or to register, you can join us at greencleanschools.org. Also, today, this is a dialogue, this is a conversation, so on Twitter you can follow us at Healthy Schools Campaign. You can tweet comments or questions to GreenClean2012. Share your thoughts, whether it's now or tomorrow or next week. We look forward to hearing from you. But additionally, I'll tell you, we will have a Q&A section to have a continuation of the conversation. So please stay along. A little bit on logistics. This webinar we have scheduled about an hour. However, for those who have to leave early or for those who have not been able to make it today, we are going to make a recording of this webinar available online along with the presentation itself, so you will be able to come back and review or share. So don't worry about that. Also, when you leave, there will be a quick survey. It'll take no more than 2 minutes. I think it's only 2 questions, but it will help us further plan for future webinars. So please take those 2 minutes and help us out. As I mentioned at the end, we have scheduled 15 minutes to have questions. Feel free to ask your questions at any point. We're taking questions through the questions box on your screen. I believe it should be on the lower right-hand side of your screen. Type them in. We'll be collecting them along the way, and we will go through the questions and ask them at the end. If you don't feel like you have to be shy, feel free to ask questions. Today, our speakers, Joe Agron is joining us from American School and University, as well as Alex Scheibel from Healthy Schools Campaign, and myself, Mark Bishop with Healthy Schools Campaign. And we are looking forward to sharing information about the Green Cleaning Award in Schools and University. It's our 5th year. And please check out the awards, check out the history of it at asumag.com/Green Cleaning Awards. So check it out and then download your applications there as well. Now, before we get started, I just want to give you a little bit of background. Part of this is about green cleaning, part of this is about the awards, but the reality is that the environment in which green cleaning sits has evolved tremendously since the time we started. Back in 2002, LEED E-Bomb was established, which kind of laid a lot of the groundwork for green cleaning work. And in 2005, we got into the game by doing pilot programs at Chicago Public Schools, which led to the publication of our Quick and Easy Guide to Green Cleaning in Schools, which from our perspective, it led to a whole numerous series of events, including working with Steve Ashkin, the launching of the Green Clean Network, working in the state of Illinois to pass the second requirement for school green cleaning programs, working with American School and University to establish the first National Green Cleaning Award, all the way until 2012, where we have the 10th state, Vermont, which now has a requirement for green cleaning, and we have green cleaning established in the Department of Education through their Green Ribbon Schools program. We have green cleaning being promoted through the Environmental Protection Agency, state environmental health guidelines. What we're learning is that this is becoming more and more common, more and more recognized, and more important as time continues to go on. A little bit about Quick and Easy Guide. This is a publication that we put forth originally in 2006 and have continuously updated. It's our 5 steps of green cleaning in schools. It is a way to not only communicate, share, but also learn about green cleaning. It's a forum for education engagement. It includes our website, quarterly newsletter, speaking engagements, and it's really our efforts to educate both stakeholders, all stakeholders, on the importance, the value, and the concepts behind green cleaning. So we're going to get started. Before we do, I'm going to ask a quick question. We're going to do a poll. Who are you? We'd love to know a little bit about who is on the call. And in the meantime, I'm going to introduce our first speaker, who is Joe Agron. Joe is the editor-in-chief and the associate publisher of American School and University magazine. Joe has guided ASNU editorial direction for 25 years and has helped influence and shape current national school infrastructure issues. He is a 3-time recipient of the prestigious Jesse H. Neal Award, which is the equivalent to the Pulitzer Prize for Business Journalism. It is my honor to have Joe here along with us, and it's also my honor to call him a friend. So a little bit about who the people are here. We've got 41% represent schools, 22 are in the cleaning industry, 4% advocates, and the rest are other. So a lot of school folks, a lot of cleaning industry folks, and I think this is all relevant to everyone. Having said that, let's bring Joe up. So Joe, will you join us?
Hi, Mark. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here today, and I just want to say hello to everyone out there. The Green Cleaning Award for Schools and Universities was established in 2007, as you saw on Mark's timeline chart. It basically came about as the construction of sustainable education facilities, both new and remodeled, became more of a priority among schools and universities and their surrounding communities. But just building green schools or retrofitting them to become more sustainable and environmentally friendly is not enough. A commitment must be made to ensure that the operation and maintenance of facilities adhere to green principles, thereby creating safer and more helpful learning environments, increasing the lifespan of facilities, and helping preserve the environment. Now, to honor those institutions that have made this commitment, that's really the impetus behind the Green Cleaning Award. Working in conjunction with the Green Cleaning Network and the Healthy Schools campaign, the awards program recognizes education institutions and their partners that have established exemplary green cleaning programs. Alex, if you can flick to the next slide. Now, for those of you that may not be familiar with American School and University, we're a national magazine that has been serving the nation's school and university administrators responsible for the design, construction, maintenance, and operations of America's education facilities for 85 years. Now, green issues are a primary focus in the magazine, on the multiple websites, on the e-newsletters, conferences, and more that are part of the American School and University franchise. And recognition in American School and University gets your accomplishment in front of the thought leaders and the decision makers at every school district and higher education institution in the country. And if you want more information on ASNU or the Green Cleaning Award, you can visit www.asumag.com. Next slide, please. Now, the Green Cleaning Award for Schools and Universities is not only an ideal opportunity for maintenance departments and their cleaning industry partners to be recognized for the outstanding programs and commitment to healthy school environments by school administration and stakeholders, but it also is a great way to share your knowledge, allow others to learn from your experiences, and it actually serves as a checkup or benchmark system where you can gauge your own green cleaning efforts and the progress you are making. Next slide. The competition is judged by a distinguished panel of 5 judges, including Steve Ashkin of the Green Cleaning Network, Mark Bishop, who spoke earlier from the Healthy Schools campaign, and this year we have 3 past winners, Gene Woodard of the University of Washington, Michael Jones of the Columbia Public School District in Missouri, and Patrick Pizzo of the East Meadow Union Free School District in New York. So not only are you going to be judged by experts in the field, but you're going to be looked at by your fellow school districts and universities, those that have done a lot over the years and have really exemplified their programs. They're going to be looking at your applications as well. Now, all the Green Cleaning Award recipients receive extensive coverage in the December issue of American School and University, as well as promotion on multiple websites, e-newsletters, and other outlets. And it gives you the opportunity to get all that great news in front of your local newspapers and TV stations to show your commitment and what you're doing for building a healthful school environment. Next slide. And because we have the opportunity for quick surveys on this webinar, I'd like to get an idea of how many times those of you that are listening may have applied for the Green Cleaning Award. You can go ahead and go to the survey spot on your screen and choose one of the multiple choice responses there. And Mark will come on, or Alex will come on in a minute or so once we have that tabulated. But whether this will be your first time or your sixth time entering, and by the way, it is free to enter, recognition of your fine work and commitment to a healthful, sustainable learning environment will go a long way in building support for you, your department, and your institution on a local, state, and national level. And at this time, I'd like to turn things over to Alex, and hopefully she'll have the results of the survey.
Great. Thank you so much, Joe. That was a wonderful intro to the awards. And everybody, I'm Alex Scheibel. I'm the policy analyst at Healthy Schools Campaign, who, as we mentioned earlier, helps run the Green Cleaning Award with American School and University and the Green Cleaning Network. So what you should see on your screen now is it looks like 92% of people have never applied for the Green Cleaning Award. So we're really excited that you all are able to join us today to get more information about this awards program and hopefully apply and so your school can receive recognition. So we're going to move on to the next slide. We just wanted to provide a short overview of kind of the logistics of the application. You can see on your screen, this is the link where you can go to actually download the application. I'm going to send out the link right now so that you can just click on it. And as Mark mentioned, all these slides will be available online after the webinar, so you can access this information then as well. The due date for the application is September 10th, 2012, so you still have about a month to put together your application. And there's information about how to actually submit through email the application. Next slide, please. So who can apply? Anybody responsible for a school cleaning program is eligible to apply for the program. We encourage individual schools, school districts. If you're a distributor, please, we really encourage you to work with the schools that you are working with and encourage those that have the excellent green cleaning programs to apply for this award. It's an excellent way to highlight work that your school districts are doing around implementing wonderful green cleaning programs. And the application comes in 3 parts. The first section is where you provide a brief overview about your school or your district. Then you go into more detail about your program, and then finally you list your products and equipment that you're using. And again, that application can be downloaded at the website that we sent out earlier. The award criteria is based on the Healthy Schools Campaign Quick and Easy Guide to Green Cleaning, which Mark mentioned, which is also available at greencleanschools.org. And it's based on the 5 steps that are outlined in the Quick and Easy Guide to Green Cleaning. So using green cleaning products, green equipment and supplies, green cleaning procedures, paper and plastic, and how you're sharing the responsibility of going green. So what we really wanted to do during the webinar today is highlight in the past few years what we feel like have made applications award-winning applications. And what we've seen, so as we mentioned earlier, this awards application or awards program was started in 2007. And in the past few years, we've been blown away by how many incredible programs are out there and just the advances in overall programs that are being made. And we really see that in the applications. And what we've seen is that really everybody is using green products, paper and plastic, and green equipment. And we see that as the backbone and cornerstone of a green cleaning program. And we definitely want you to highlight what you're doing around the green products and equipment. But what we've really seen emerge as the differentiators in applications is how people are talking about the last 4 points on this list: training, communication, reducing exposures, and evaluation and measurement. And we feel like the way that schools and school districts are speaking about what they're doing with their green cleaning program around these 4 things is really what has made applications for the judges stand out above others. So what we wanted to do today is go through recent award winners and highlight specifically how the work that they have spoken about in their applications around these 4 points. So I'm going to hand it over to Mark Bishop, who's going to go into more detail about different programs that we feel like have done an exemplary job of highlighting these differentiators.
All right, thank you. So speaking back to what we're considering these differentiators, I'll start with training. And again, while using the correct products, paper, plastics, green cleaning, the schools who are applying all using these products, and it's so key as the formation of your green cleaning program. But it is in these four, as Alex mentioned, where in the areas of training, communication, reducing exposures, and evaluation, where really you can stand out. And in these applications, what we're really looking for is to hear your narrative and hear the story of what your school's journey has been, how you've made these changes, and how you're institutionalizing it. And some of these key parts have really stood out. The first one is training. We believe so strongly that the key to a quality cleaning program, let alone a quality green cleaning program, really is going to be in the quality of the staff that we have. Whether it's contracted staff or it's in-house staff, we have to make sure that we're showing that we value, train, develop the people who work and maintain our schools. So a training program is going to be really key to really showing the success of a green cleaning program. So as an example, University of Georgia, who's one of our past winners, they've instituted a 2-week pre-training requirement for all building staff. They created a building service worker academy that I believe in 3 years they graduated over 275 individuals, and they also have established ongoing training on green cleaning techniques and conversations within their staff to make sure that people understand or are all on the same page with how they're trained, how they're cleaning the buildings, and that they have consistency throughout the schools. Now, of course, not all everything applies to all schools equally, because in the application process we have large universities, full school districts, or individual school buildings. So there's no single cookie press or cookie cutter approach to what's going to win and what's going to be the best. And we all take that into account. So we also, had one of our winners was Newport Public Schools that created their own sustainable cleaning handbook. So they created the documentation, so they had consistency throughout their training programs, throughout their cleaning program. They established systematic internal green cleaning training programs. They provide management training for lead custodians, because green cleaning is not only about the techniques, but it's also about how you manage an effective workforce and how you maintain consistency, frequently in an environment where there's high turnover and many budgetary challenges. So these are some of the things that we are really looking towards. Now, in addition to training, communications is a key part of making sure you have buy-in to a green cleaning program. So this is actually one of the things that we pull out in our 5 steps to green cleaning. We call it sharing the responsibility, but it's also called communication. And it's about the cleaning program, the custodial staff, and the maintenance staff, and how they can be integrated into the school community, and how to make sure that those voices are heard, and they're just not the silent individuals who are pushing the mops after school hours. But in Blackhawk Intermediate School District, they start their school year, the custodial staff start their school year with an annual PTO presentation to make sure that the parents and the leadership in the schools understand what the custodial staff's priorities for the year are and how they want to engage with parents on an ongoing basis. They do much signage throughout the schools that talk about their green clean procedures and what they are doing and why they're doing things certain ways so people understand how the cleaning actually interfaces and interacts with the school and what the student roles are for their cleaning program. They post a green word of the week in their hallways so they can actually engage school students to think about what green means and how that interfaces with the custodial staff, and as well as contests and poster contests that the custodial program sponsors. The Green Chimney Schools in New York, they are integrated very closely into campus-wide communications through newsletters, campus meetings, school bulletins, and they do numerous community presentations. And the ability for Green Chimneys or Blackhawk or your school to really tell us that narrative of how do you interface with your school, how do you work with your schools and make sure that you are working collaboratively and people understand what your programs are doing, becomes a really important component of a green cleaning program. Next is, let's talk about reducing exposures. Because when we talk about a green cleaning program, again, as we mentioned, using the green products, using green equipment is so important. But it's not just about product replacement. We all know it's about that training. It's about the communication. But it's also about taking steps to make sure that we are reducing exposures to chemicals for our staff, students, and teacher. And let's make sure that we are articulating that. On one hand, we want to articulate that to our school stakeholders through our communications program, but make sure that you share that with us so we can hear and we can help narrate what the story is that's going on in your school. Whether it's through passing a school policy like they did in Western Washington University, a green cleaning policy that includes having non-chemical cleaning technologies where possible to be able to reduce potential exposures. Broad implementation of microfiber strategies which help reduce the use of chemicals, water and steam technologies where possible, and Western Washington University, prior to their green cleaning program, had many hazardous cleaning agents, and they were able to document and reduce the use of over 75 cleaning products that they were using that now have been replaced either with less toxic alternatives or with procedures or with water-based technologies that allow them to reduce exposures. In the East Meadow School District, they have fully eliminated the use of stripper sealer and wax through diamond pads and square pad scrubbers, so that is a huge portion of their strategy to reduce exposures to the workers on an ongoing basis. They also utilize ionized water, steam technologies to replace a number of their chemicals, and also a broad implementation of microfibers to reduce the use of chemicals. And then the final part, which is really, from our perspective, what's really emerging as the biggest issue right now, is how do we evaluate and measure? And this is a challenge that all schools are dealing with, but it becomes so important. Again, it becomes important internally as we're trying to justify our own programs and our budgets, but it also becomes really important how we communicate it externally. And we want to know, how does your school, how does your green cleaning program evaluate itself and actually document and measure the improvements? So Columbia Public School Districts, they do regular visual inspections and then evaluate visually on the effectiveness of their cleaning program. They do periodic ATP metering, so they're testing surfaces. They are testing surfaces of where they've cleaned, so they can then document how effective is their actual cleaning procedure. They're also starting to look at attendance by building. And while this is a challenging piece to measure, working with your school health services and your nursing, and trying to correlate where you're cleaning, the type of cleaning you're doing with health outcomes, could be a potentially very powerful, process to really document. Indoor air quality testing. The Columbia Public School District is looking at their IAQ by looking at carbon dioxide levels and doing visual inspections for indoor air quality and ventilation issues, and that's part of their maintenance routine, as well as consumption. One of the things that's really exciting when we're talking about green cleaning is the reduction of consumption of some of the chemicals. And let's track and seeing how people are actually tracking the consumption of the chemicals that are being purchased, paper and plastics that are being purchased. And that goes back to reducing exposures, but also budgetary issues that we're actually purchasing less. And being able to document that is so important and have so much value to us as well. Another program that took a different track in their evaluation and measurement was Purdue University, and their tracking looked at the reduction in the cleaning products used, but also it looked at workers' compensation claims. It looked at supply and expenditure cost reduction. It also looked at landfill waste reduction. So it looked at the costs and made sure that they're being more efficient, and it also went back to those health, because we want to make sure that not only are students healthy and their attendance rates are increasing, but also our workers and our custodial staff. And by looking at reduction in compensation claims, we are showing savings. We're showing cost savings, but we're also showing a healthier environment for our workers. So that's an overview of what we see as our differentiators and how we think the top programs ultimately will be measured and will come out with the 2012 Green Cleaning Awards. and what we hope that your schools will be able to kind of look at some of these guidelines and come up with some ideas and really share some interesting narratives, because we are excited to see and learn about the next crop of award-winning schools. So having said that, it's right now we are about 30 minutes into the hour, and so we're going to open this up to any questions. And if you have any questions, feel free to pop it into the box or send it through Twitter, and we will share those questions along. In the meantime, we want to thank our sponsor, Chase Products, who again has been a great supporter of the green cleaning program of the Healthy Schools campaign for a number of years.
So great. Thank you so much, Mark. And please, as Mark said, send in your questions through that question box on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. So we have one question that's come in. How many awards are issued each year? Which is a fantastic question. And so what we've done in the past is there is one category for colleges and universities, and then another category for K through 12 schools and school districts. And in the past, we have selected in K through 12 a Grand Award winner, a Best New Program, and then at least 2 honorable mention awards. And for the university category, we have typically selected 1 Grand Award winner and then 2 or 3 honorable mentions. So if you don't receive that Grand Award, we do always give out honorable mentions as well to recognize your programs.
Alex, this is Joe. Can I chime in?
Yes, please. Go for it, Joe.
Mark had given a lot of great examples of various universities and school districts that are very far along and are doing some phenomenal work on the green cleaning front and on their programs. However, the award isn't really just to honor those that are doing such a spectacular job. It's also for someone who's just starting a program, and that's one of the benefits of the new program award. If you're on this call and you're just trying to get some ideas on how to start it, or if you've started something and want to see kind of where you lie in comparison to some of the past winners, the new program award is really a great opportunity to showcase, okay, there was nothing, and now we're doing this, and showing all the examples and all the progress that you have made with that new program.
Mm-hmm. Great. Thank you so much, Joe. I think that's a great point, and we love reading about the best new programs and really encourage those that are out there to apply.
And I'll jump back in, and this is Mark Bishop, and I want to jump in and comment on something that Joe said earlier about using the award to benchmark your program. Because this application, while it is an extensive application, this can also be part of your beginnings of an evaluation program. Is let's document what we have, what we're doing, and start getting, keeping track of that, even if it's just at an annual level. So while majority of the participants today are all first-time award winner applicants, what we know is that a number of people who have been, there are a number of schools that have been applying year after year, and what we've learned from them is that they use this opportunity to take the time to evaluate where they're at and where they want to go. So taking the time to evaluate yourself and using this as a benchmarking tool is also part of the value of this program.
Great, thank you so much. And we do, related to that, we have one question that came in that said, how long does the school have to have their green cleaning program in place in order to be eligible to apply? And so that would go along with Joe's question. There is no restriction on school districts or schools applying based on length of your program. We encourage you to apply if you've just started your green cleaning program or if you had one in place for multiple years.
Yeah, and from our perspective, it's exciting for us to see the new programs. We'd love to see what you can accomplish in 1 or 2 years and how much change can actually happen in a very short time period. And we love hearing the stories about schools that have been doing this for a number of years that are really showing tremendous growth and change in the industry and within the school community. So again, in terms of winning the award, we have a category for new schools and we have a category for existing programs. So all are open to apply.
Great. And then another related question is, how many schools apply every year?
And the answer to that, let me try to remember. This is I believe the 5th year of the program, and every year it has been growing both in number as well as in competitiveness. I think last year
Yeah,
30 to 40 schools. Between 30 and 40 schools last year applied for the program. And what was interesting to me, as I mentioned, it wasn't just that the numbers are big or not big, is that the quality of the programs of the schools that applied has continuously improved, and the competition was fierce, and we had a hard time really selecting the best because they were really good and there were a lot of good stories to be shared.
Great, thank you. And then we have a number of people wanting to know if there's a list of schools that have received recognition in the past, and all that information is available on American School and University Magazine's website. The link I sent out earlier, I'll send it out again, and there's a complete list of all the schools that have received recognition, I believe in the past at least 3 or 4 years. And you can go and you can click on those links and read more about those schools and see if there are any that you know of. And I know from speaking with a number of the award winners that the award winners love having people contact them to learn more about their programs. And so if there's somebody that you know, we definitely encourage you to learn from those winners. And let's see, so we have, if you don't win an award, do you still receive recognition? That's a good question. Unfortunately, there isn't any recognition in the magazine. In the magazine, it's just the award winners and the schools that receive honorable mention. With that being said, I know at Healthy Schools Campaign, we are always looking for wonderful stories of green cleaning programs to highlight in our blog and in our newsletter. So we definitely encourage you to apply, and there is the chance that your story might be noticed by the judges and highlighted in other ways outside of in the actual publication.
But besides that, as Alex mentioned, the Healthy Schools Campaign, we want to promote and share all these good stories. And even if there's a good story that isn't the award winner, we want to, we are open to many different avenues of communications, and we would love to highlight good work that's going on in different schools. So I would say there are many opportunities to for us to use the applications that we receive beyond just recognizing as award winners.
Great, thank you. So we actually have a question about pest management, which I think is an interesting point. Are there any plans to incorporate recommendations concerning pest management practices into the application?
This is Mark Bishop. I'll jump on this. While we don't specifically call out pest management as part of the application, we recognize pest management as an important part of a green cleaning program. It is an important component of reducing exposures to chemicals. It is an important component of infection control strategy by reducing the spread of the potential spread of disease. So there are a number of applications in the past that do include their integrated pest management programs in their green cleaning awards, and we recognize that, and we definitely would take that into account. Having said that, specifically calling that out within the application is something we should consider doing for future years.
Great, thank you, Mark. We have a question from Shedrick in Tennessee. Hi, Shedrick. He's wanting to know, should a new program apply using the things that we intend to do along with what we have already done? Which I think is a really good question, especially for new programs.
Good question. I'll take a stab. When we evaluate our programs, we do want to hear about the goals of what you are intending to do and what your plans are in the future. However, it's going to be the heavy weighting is what is accomplished. So we are looking to see, for best new programs, we want to know what you've done in the past 12 months, 24 months. What you're going to do in the next 6 months is hard to really quantify. So while I think it does show vision to make sure you're showing where you're going, the bulk of the consideration will be, without question, what has been done, what has been accomplished, rather than what the future goals are. But having said that, vision is also always important. supported. But again, the priority will be on what you have already accomplished.
Great.
Joe, would you want to say anything to that?
No, I think you hit it on the head. I mean, I would definitely include it, but as far as the weighting, it is going to be on what was accomplished. And again, what it will do by putting in what you plan on doing, it kind of serves as your roadmap, and you have it in writing now, and it's something that everyone can follow. So we'll also provide some good opportunities and some good insight for others that are reading about it.
Great, thank you, Joe. And actually, we have another question that Joe might be able to answer, wanting to know a little bit about the timeline for the process. So we mentioned the applications are due September 10th, and then when does the publication come out?
The awards are, well, the winners are notified prior to the magazine coming out, of course, but the magazine comes out as the December issue. And that comes out usually around the 12th to 15th of the month. And the winners are notified sometime in November, if I remember correctly. Process of judging goes from the entry deadline in mid-September to probably about the second week of October. Once the winners are identified and contacted, the editorial department works with the winners to get pictures and clarify any other data that they may have questions on to get the exposure in the December issue.
Great, thank you. And a related question is, can you speak a little bit about ASNU's distribution list? How many people does the magazine go out to, and what does that group look like?
Sure. American School and University reaches 62,000 controlled subscribers, and what that basically means is business-to-business publications. You actually, to be on the list to get it for free, you have to be of a specific title to receive it. And you have to specifically ask for it to receive it. And we reach 4 specific titles in education administration and facilities. One is the superintendent of schools. The second one is the chief business official, facility, business, financial, purchasing person, whatever that business title ends up being. Then we reach the head of facilities, maintenance, buildings and grounds. Again, a lot of various titles fall into that. But that person in charge of the physical facility and the physical plant, maintenance and operations, and then we also reach education architects who design and plan the actual building. So we reach those 4 titles, and like I mentioned, we reach a little over 62,000 of those every month.
Great, thank you. And so moving on to the next question, are the most successful communications and behavioral change efforts top-down efforts that involve administrators or bottom-up efforts from student or green teams?
That's a good question, and I don't think we have a clear answer because we've seen it work both ways. There are examples of many programs that are really being driven by facility managers, facility directors who are passionate about green cleaning, improving the environment, efficiency of programs, and they really work hard for buy-in from their staff as well as their community. And with a proper leader, it can really make tremendous change. And at the same time, we've documented many stories of students doing school projects, presenting to their boards, and getting buy-in from the students on up. So I don't think we can say one is more effective than the other, but what we can say is students, leadership good leadership are really what is the most powerful agent of change in any community, let alone in the school. And those leaders can come from the students up or can come from administration down or teachers on out. So we've seen it all. It all can work, and they all make for compelling stories.
Great, thank you.
If I can interrupt for 1 second, this is Joe. One of the things that has been a bonus to this as well is typically when we watch the evening local news or we read the local paper, it's the bad things that show up. Something like this really gives the school or the college or the university something that's a feel-good story, and a lot of news stations end up picking that up because even I think they get a little tired of the bad news scenario. So the winners of the Green Cleaning Awards have really shown that the community really embraces that, and it shows their commitment to healthful schools and keeping children and students safe and workers safe and working in a healthy environment, and that they're doing something to change the way that schools are looked at. So it is a very good opportunity to get that local exposure as well as the national exposure.
Great. Good point, Joe. Thank you. Another question we have is, I'm a distributor and one of my schools won the award in 2008. Are they eligible again? And so I can go ahead and answer that. They are definitely eligible to apply again. If a school's received the award in past years, we love to see repeat applications. The only thing that what we would encourage them to do is to really focus in on the changes and improvements that they've made in their programs since winning the award. So they could say, you know, in 2008 we received the Green Cleaning Award. Since then, here's what we've done. And that's spelled out pretty clearly in the application for past award winners to focus on recent accomplishments, but we would encourage them to apply again, especially if they've continued to improve their program.
And speaking about past award winners, what I would like to highlight, and we said this in many different ways, but the winners in 2008, those applications would not win in 2012 is the reality. So we you know, for those schools that have won in the past or applied in the past, showing what the improvements are and what the changes are, you know, are going to be important but exciting. And we love to see where leaders in green cleaning are taking their programs. In some places, it's really dynamic and really exciting to see. So we would encourage you to apply.
Great, thank you. So next question, have you seen any evidence that participating in this program serves as a gateway into increasingly robust school environmental health programs, such as integrated pest management, indoor air quality, etc.?
You know, that's a good question, and I don't have a good answer. What I can say is when for a number of the schools that we have engaged with, who we've had, you know, ongoing communications or repeat award applications, what we have seen is there is an expansion of their programs to go beyond just cleaning to take into more robust environmental programs, whether it's environmental health or really kind of flushing out how they see the school environment by incorporating energy efficiency in their operations, or more sustainable purchasing practices across the board. So I do think it raises a really interesting question of a follow-up, you know, research or survey of past winners or past participants, and we should do that. The other thing that we're looking to do at Healthy Schools Campaign is early next year we'll be publishing a guide on greening a school food service program, of which green cleaning is an important component of. So we are excited to engage with facility directors and managers across the country who are doing green cleaning program and start to really learn how they are interfacing with their cafeteria programs, and if those green cleaning programs are expanding to working with the food service programs as well. So,
great.
This is Joe. If I can interrupt again, sorry. In some of the winners that we have spoken to, one thing that stands as being common is what makes them part of a winning program is the fact that they have buy-in. They have the students, the parents, the staff, the administration. They have total buy-in of the program, and what that ends up doing is it actually acts as a snowball effect where other people want to become involved, and that's where you see other helpful things such as looking at total indoor air quality and looking at other bigger picture items come into play. So we found that whether it's an impetus to get things rolling or if it's just one of a long list of different things that the school district or the college are doing to grow that whole environmental awareness, it's just part of the whole picture.
Great. Thank you, Joe. We've had a couple questions, actually, Joe, come in about somebody wants to know their sustainability coordinator and wants to know if they can receive the American School and University magazine, and we've had a couple other people want to know if they can receive it too. Is that something that is possible, or is it just the information that's available on the website is what they have access to?
Actually, sustainability coordinator, if they fall within the administrative purview, I would actually go online and you can sign up for the free subscription, and if for some reason it's bounced back, you'll know either way whether you qualify or not, because they do an audit of it, and it usually takes a month or two. But there's also, you can also get the digital edition for the time being as far as that goes, where you don't have to actually wait for the print to come out. But sustainability, Matt, we do have a number of those on our circulation list, and they fall within typically the facilities end of things. So I would recommend that they go online. It's a very short process to fill out the request for a free subscription, and someone from the circulation department will get back to you because they do audit each new subscriber.
Great, thank you. And that's just on your website, correct? Just asumag.com.
asumag.com, and somewhere, I think it's on the left-hand side, it'll be sign up for a subscription.
Great.
And it's a great publication. I love the article this month about the about building an effective playground. So
another question we have is wanting to know if we perform a site inspection. And we do not perform site inspections to pick award winners. So the applications are reviewed by the judging panel. We encourage you can submit supplementary material, such as if you have green cleaning policies or any communications that you're using. We definitely encourage you to support your application with those materials, but there's no actual physical site inspection that takes place.
We don't see this as a certification process. This is a recognition program. We do expect honesty and integrity in the applications, and we do talk to all the individuals who are applying for the awards, but we do not have time or budget to do individual inspections, as much as that would be fascinating to be able to do.
Great, thank you. And a related question to that is, are there any monetary awards that are given for the award program? And there are not. It's the recognition that you receive in the magazine, and then the full feature article with color pictures. And it's a really beautiful spread that they put together to highlight schools, and that gets distributed.
And a certificate to hang in your room.
Right.
But what I will say is, what we have learned is the award winners, we work with them we partner with all of the award winners to do webinars and calls and educational sessions and highlight them as leaders across the country. And they have received tremendous recognition, and it helps in bringing value to their schools, to their professionalism, and to the job that they're doing. And there are a lot of value that winning this award brings to individuals and to schools that go well beyond any potential financial reward.
Great, thank you.
This is Joe. If I can interrupt again, the benefits to the schools are obvious, and I think I've mentioned a few of them earlier. But there's also another factor, and I think Mark, you had brought this up as well, is that I know there's some manufacturers and distributors on the call as well, that those that actually sell to the district, this is a great way for you to provide another value add to your customer in helping them fill out an application, to making them aware of it if they're not aware of it, to show off your ability to work with them in this respect as well. And if they end up as one of the award-winning schools, well, that's a huge bonus for the dealer distributor, because they're able to use that in their promotion as well.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Joe. And we have one more question, I think, that we're going to take, and then we'll wrap up a little bit early. How much weight is placed on outside certifications that cleaning staff have received?
How much weight has, when we look to, well, the question, how much weight would outside certification play for training? And the answer, I don't think there's a clear answer to that. There are not a lot of certifications out there for training, but what is out there, there's some that's very good and some that we probably don't know about all of it. What we would say is the value of training is taken into account to a tremendous extent. And because of the inconsistency in the current state of certifications for training, We would, in addition, rather than just saying we have a certified trained staff, tell us about that, but also tell us the quality of the training. What does that training mean? What are you doing? How frequently are you training? Where is the communications with the staff? How many staff meetings are you doing that are focused on consistency of procedure and identifying the use of new technologies, on infection control, and what are you doing? So we place a tremendous value on training. Currently, in the state of certifications for training, it's going to be a case-by-case basis. So if you're in this position, please make sure that you include in your application that narrative description of what does your training look like that led to your certification.
Great, thank you so much. So I think we are going to go ahead and wrap up a little bit early. Thank you so much for everybody who has joined us today. And once again, we encourage you to apply. Here is the link to the awards application and any information about how to apply. Also, the recording of this webinar and slides will be available online, and you will receive an email by Friday, which has a link to where you can view the recording and the slides, or you can visit Healthy Schools Campaign website, which is also at the bottom of the slide. So thank you once again. Thank you to Joe for joining us and adding your input, and we hope you all are able to apply this year for the Green Cleaning Awards.
Thank you so much.